Last time we were at Selhurst Park, we conceded 4 goals in 31 minutes. Luckily, that did not happen yesterday. No, we come away with a 2-0 victory. An absolutely brilliant day. I was there. First time I've been to Selhurst Park, and I have to say the place is a little bit of a shithole, but it does have character. You've got to give Selhurst Park at least that. It does have character, and the West Ham fans were in good voice, as per usual, but many West Ham United fans, like myself, were very disappointed with their starting lineup. The same starting lineup that we saw against Aston Villa, and we were all asking the same questions. Where was Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Where was Davido? Where was Fuller? Why were they not in that starting lineup? But, you know, you kind of got to trust that the manager knows what he's doing, and it kind of worked in the first half. Could it have worked better if we had started those other players? Yeah, I do believe so, but they did a job. They did a job. We went in at half-time and we hadn't conceded 4 goals, so I definitely feel like that was a distinct improvement on the last time we were there. But, I mean, yeah, the first half performance wasn't the best for me. We were passing it, we had possession, but we really did lack any creativity with that possession. And, you know, we were good in defence, we were good in the midfield, but we'd get to the final third, we'd lose it, and that would allow Crystal Palace to hit us on the counter. And when they did, they looked very dangerous on the counter-attack, and they did look like the team more likely to score in that first half. But there definitely were some pluses as well, and one of them was one of the players that we questioned being in that starting lineup, and for me that was Mavropanos, and I feel like he is building a really solid and formidable partnership with Max Kilman, who, by the way, was man of the match for me yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. 40 million for that guy is starting to look like a little bit of a steal, because yeah, our defence just looks 100 times better than it did last season. And yeah, that partnership with Mavropanos and Kilman looks really, really solid, and Mavropanos is just saying to Lopetegui, drop me if you're there. He's got Davido ready to come in and take his place if he doesn't perform, and at the moment he is performing. You can't drop him, and it's great to see, because it just shows that competition for places does work. It encourages players to put in better performances, and it's really working for Mavropanos. Other positives from that first half: Lucas Paquetá. His work rate, second to none. Defensive work that he does, so underrated. Tracks back, breaks up play, makes challenges, and then carries the ball out to help relieve pressure from their defence. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Yeah, he gives the ball away a couple of times because he tries to play these fancy passes, but you want him to play these difficult passes, because when he does pull them off, they usually do cause the defence a lot of issues. But no, his work rate, second to none, and he really did help out our defence yesterday. I say his defensive work is just so underrated. He works his bloody socks off, and I absolutely love him for it. Kudus, though, is wasted on that left. I'm going to keep on saying this, and I'm going to keep on shouting it from the rooftops until somebody bloody listens. He's wasted on that left-hand side. He just is. He had a decent game. He did okay, but he just doesn't have the ability to have the impact on the game on that left-hand side that he would either through the middle or on the right. Okay, he really struggled to impact the game yesterday, but he did impact the game when he gravitated into the middle and had a run at their defence, causes them problems, draw fouls, right? He can play in that middle, he can play in that 10 role. That's where you get the best out of him. He's wasted on that left-hand side, and you can play him in that 10, you can put Paquetá in that deeper role, who will help protect the defence if he's playing alongside Rodriguez or Alvarez, who is back now. And this wouldn't be the ideal way to go in every single game. Like Man City next week, you wouldn't go like this, but against the lesser teams, yes, it will cause problems and it would work. And I genuinely do believe we would have created a lot more chances yesterday in that first half if we were playing Kudus through that middle. I really do, because he does a much better job in that role than Souček, because that's pretty much what Souček was doing yesterday. He was playing in more of the 10 role than Paquetá, and Souček, yes, got a goal, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but apart from that, doesn't really do much else. Bowen as well was struggling on that right hand side in the first half yesterday, and I feel like it has got something to do with Sofel being behind him, because I feel like he worries about taking chances, because if he takes a chance and loses the ball, then I think he's a little bit concerned that it puts Sofel under pressure, and he's not 100% sure if Sofel can handle that pressure, because yeah, again, Sofel's performance yesterday I thought was very, very questionable, and yeah, it did really make me ask the question why we didn't start Wan-Bissaka from the beginning, because when he came on, he looks so much more comfortable than Sofel at right back, and Bowen looked a lot more comfortable as well. He looked like he'd been let off the leash a little bit. He was given a little bit more freedom, but I feel like that was because he had a little bit more confidence that the player behind him was much more capable of handling anything that was going down that right hand side if he ended up making a mistake. Antonio, though, struggled. struggled. Look, he works hard, he gets himself about, he does become a little bit of a menace, but his first touch lets him down, and when his first touch doesn't let him down, his second touch lets him down. He has games like that a little bit too often for me now. That he can have games where he looks like an absolute world beater, but those games are becoming few and far between now. They really are. And yeah, when Fuller came on in that second half, he looked a lot more comfortable in that role than Antonio, and I really do believe that is the way forward that we've got to go now. And I still do believe that Antonio can have an impact just off the subs bench. I think he'll be an incredible impact sub. I really do. Against a tired defence, I think that would really work. But starting, he's too hit and miss for me at the moment. He's just too hit and miss. Second half started pretty much as the first half ended. We were passing the ball around, we had possession, but were really lacking a little bit of creativity. And then we made the change. We brought on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we brought on Fuller, and then things started to look a lot different. We looked a lot more competent on the ball, we looked a lot more comfortable. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka down that right hand side, I thought looked very, very strong. He got past the halfway line a couple of times and didn't completely fuck it up. Like so many Man United fans kept on saying that he was useless when he passed the halfway line. Didn't look it to me personally. Caused them some problems, and then around the 67th minute broke free of the Crystal Palace attackers, brought the ball past the halfway line, played a lovely little side pass to Bowen, who took the ball into the area, got it to Paquetá. His shot was deflected, fell to Fulkrug, couldn't get it out between his legs, and then it fell to Souček, who popped up in the moment to score a goal. And that's what Souček is good at, popping up in the moments to score these goals. Doesn't do a huge amount elsewhere, but yeah, he's just got that knack of being in the right place at the right time, and you can't criticise him for that. You know, it is brilliant that he manages to score that goal, and you do love his celebration, but I just wish that he would do a lot more during the game. But you can't deny that he just gets himself in the right place at the right time, and he's done it so many times, and that's why I feel like it's so hard for any manager to drop him, because he's got that ability to pop up and produce those moments. And it was only 5 minutes later when Max Kilman, who had an absolutely incredible game, man of the match for me, picks up the ball on the edge of the area, carried it to the halfway line, played a lovely ball to the feet of Bowen, who then did what he does, took the ball forward, went onto his left, and then smashed it into the bottom corner to make it 2-0. And yeah, from that point on, we just looked comfortable. It just looked very comfortable. We looked very solid in defence with Aaron Wan-Bissaka there and Kilman and Mavropanos. It does look like a much stronger defence overall with them in it. And yeah, it just ended up being a very comfortable win at the end of the day. So let's do some player ratings. Starting off in goal, Areola, I would give him an 8. He made a couple of decent saves in the first half. Didn't have a huge amount to do in the second half, but kept a clean sheet. Yeah, decent performance from him. Sofel, 5. Didn't put in a really good performance, gave the ball away a couple of times, and yeah, didn't look too comfortable. Mavropanos, 8, building a great partnership with Kilman and made a couple of last ditch challenges, didn't do anything wrong, solid performance. Kilman, 9, and man of the match for me. Absolutely fantastic performance. He was so comfortable on the ball. He got away from their defence a couple of times, and yeah, he can run with it, he can defend, he can make those last ditch challenges. Yeah, fantastic performance for me. Emerson on the left, a 7, not a huge impact, but yeah, he did the job that he needs to do. He always puts in a solid performance. Rodriguez, I'd give him a 7 as well. It looked a lot more comfortable than against Aston Villa, and yeah, very competent. Yeah, no, 7 for me. Paquetá, 8, just because of his defensive work and his work rate. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, great performance from him. Souček, he's getting a 6. He gets a 6 because he scored the goal, because he didn't do much else in the game, in my opinion. He didn't, in my opinion. He got the goal though, so he's going to get a 6. Bowen on the right, I would give a 7. So his first half performance did lack, but second half performance was really good, and he did score that fantastic goal. Kudus is going to get a 6. Didn't have a huge impact on the game, but as I say, I do feel like that's partly because he's being played out of position. Will have a lot more impact in the middle of the field, but it still wasn't his greatest game. Antonio, 5. We went through Antonio earlier. Yeah, he gets himself about, but didn't really have an impact on the game. Subs who came on, Fuller, who came on, I'll give him a solid 6. Right, he looked comfortable on the ball, didn't have a huge amount to do, but yeah, good positioning, good movement, had a chance to score, but yeah, I was disappointed that he didn't, so he gets a 6. But no, I'm really excited to see more of him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets a solid 8. yeah, and the other subs didn't really come on for long enough for me to give a rating. So there we go. First win of the season, and a great win. A place where it did cause us a little bit of frustration last season, which is good, and hopefully it's a performance that can give the team a little bit of confidence going into our League Cup game against Bournemouth on Wednesday, and our game against Manchester City next Saturday, which of course is a very difficult game. But we just hope that we see the performances improve each week, and I do feel like the performance was a lot better than the performance against Aston Villa. So yes, that is an improvement, and we got the result as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching. Come on, you Irons.